Hello beautiful people, this is your girl Jeannie and it's Jeannie's signature. So I'm going to be making this beautiful kaftan or bubu with fringe. I've made something similar on my channel, but I think this one came out better than that one because of the material and the beauty. It's just I couldn't resist posting it, so that was why I made another video. So please kindly hit, if this is what you want and you're interested in it, please kindly watch till the end so that you can be able to subscribe, like, and please share. Yeah, thank you. So let's get right into the tutorial. So I have my fabric folded already. I didn't want this video to be too long, and that is the fringe I'll be making use of. That fringe is 20 inches by length. You know, we have different lengths of it, so this is 20 inches. And that is the doll face I will be using to make that beautiful pattern at the upper part of the cloth. So this fabric is 3 yards, and my client is a very tall client, so it was very perfect for her. So I already folded my fabric because from the style you can see that the front is shorter than the back, so I made the back longer and then the front shorter, like 20 inches. So you need to subtract the full length of your client from the inches of the fringe that you want to use. So I'm going to be cutting both the front and the back together. That is what I'm trying to explain right there. So at the end of the day, this is how I'll place the fringe at the front of parts. Yeah. It's a very simple style, so you should be able to do this style in less than an hour or 2 hours max, even if you're crawling. Yeah. So this was just me trying to ascertain the length of the front. That front piece is 45 inches, and then the full length, the longer one, that is for the back, is 65 inches. Those are sewing allowances. The normal length is 64 inches. So when you add that 20 inches of this fringe to the 45 inches in the front, because I'm going to be hemming that lower part to total 64 inches. Yeah. So let me just dive into the cutting proper. So for the neck width, I'm going to be making use of 3.5 inches. And then I'm going to be using the whole folded length. So if you want to know how to get yours, just measure your shoulder divided by 2, then you add the sleeve length you want your kaftan or bubu to be. And so I'm coming down for 1.5 for the shoulder slope, and then I'll be connecting that to the neckline. And then for the round sleeve, where my hand will be coming from, I came down by 12 inches. You can just come down by how many inches you want. You can go as far as 14 inches. Depends on your choice. How free you want that hand to be. Yeah. And so from where I came in by that, where I came down by that 12 inches, I'm going to be coming in by 3 inches. You can come in as far as 3, 4, 5, whatever. How wide you want your bubu to be is entirely your choice. So this is quite optional. Anyhow you want it to be, please kindly come in by that inches, and then you mark it all the way to the length of the dress. There shouldn't be any ceremony in this, yeah? And then for some people, that was what I'm trying to explain here. They will say, I want this thing to get a little shape. So you can go to your shoulder, you measure your shoulder to waist, that is your half length, then your shoulder to hip. You mark your waist divided by 4, you add like 5 or 6 inches for his and sewing allowances. You do that on the hip, and then you take it to the hem of the cloth, and then you connect it to the round sleeve, and then you carve it like that. If that is what you want it to have shape. But if you want it to be bogus, you really don't need all those measurements. So this one is like a bogus Bubu, as you can see on the thumbnail. So that was what I was trying to explain there. So right about now, I'm going to be measuring the depth for the back, and I'm going to be coming down by 2 inches. And then I'm connecting it. I'm not going to be cutting out the front neckline yet, because the front neckline, as you saw on the thumbnail, is quite different from the normal and so I'm just going to be leaving it like that. As we progress, you're going to see how I did that. I'm just going to be cutting out the side seams. This Bubu has really come to stay, because everybody just wants to be sewing Bubu, Bubu, Kaftan, Bubu, Kaftan, Bubu, Kaftan. Nobody wants to go for any other style again. Oh, well, I like it too, because it's free. You'll be free. At least if you go for all these parties, you'll be able to eat enough, and it will hide your stomach. No need to wear again. Don't mind me. I'm just kidding. So I'm cutting it out. I think there was the last piece did not cut, so I had to go back to bring that out. So I'm carving it like so, and that is it. So now I'm going to be cutting out the neckline and then the shoulder slopes. I loved working with this fabric. This fabric was beautiful. In fact, this camera is not even doing justice to how beautiful it is. Please, if you have watched up to this level, kindly hit the subscribe button, and please don't forget to like, share, and please give this video a big thumbs up, and please kindly leave comments. Thank you. So I'm going to be, that's the front part. I'm going to be removing the back piece because we are through with that. The major work is on the front fabric. So I'm going to be leaving this aside and then focus on the front piece. Even after cutting the fabric like this and you feel like, oh, this thing is still too big, you can just fold it back and then reduce it right from that arm around sleeve. From where that curve is to the length, you can just trim it and you're good to go. So now I'm just going to be manipulating the neckline because the neck width has to be the same. So from one part of the neck width, I'm going to be coming down by 4 inches, and then I'm going to mark a line all the way down to where I marked. Yeah. And then on the other side of the width of the neck width, I'm going to be coming down by 8 inches, and then I'll slant it to meet the other line, just for us to get that beautiful shape at the neck. And then you slant it like so. It's very easy. And that is all. So we're just going to be cutting out that. So we have gotten the neckline, the slanted neckline. beautiful. So now I'm going to be introducing that plain fabric, the plain doll face that I used earlier. I'm going to be placing it under the material, making sure that um, is the face of the cloth that is facing under the material. I don't know if you get me, but I'll show you right about now. But let me just cut out what I need because this is way too big. So I'm just going to be measuring 18 inches. That should be more than enough. Just trying to ascertain. So now I'm cutting it out. Please don't try this if you just remove the cloth under. JJ. But I had to raise it before I cut it anyways. So that is what I'll be making use of. I'm okay with that. And so I'm going to be placing it like this. Just look at what I'm doing. So the shiny part of the fabric is facing the cloth like so. I placed it from under like that so that I'll be able to trace out the neckline. Please don't make a mistake of using the other side of that plain material. You end up having a reverse side of this neckline. So just if you didn't get this place, please kindly pause, rewind, and then watch how I did it very well, because I've seen situations where people made mistakes and they'll be like, but the neckline did not come out on the other side, the same side that you did yours. Please kindly watch it very well. So I'm trying to pin it down so that it won't slip off the table. So now I'm going to be tracing this out. Just trace out exactly what is on the neckline like that. Don't worry about the chalk, it will not show. Before you finish sewing yourself, you won't see it again. Then you slant down the shoulder slopes so that everything will lay flat and beautiful. So now I'll just cut out the shoulder slopes and then remove the pins and then do the next thing. So you see how it came out. You must have exactly the same thing as is on the neckline. Exactly what is there should be on this plain fabric. So you just cut out exactly what you have there. So you see that we have exactly the same thing. I'm going to be bringing the material, the main dress, and then I'll be placing it on it so that you can see that it's exactly what I have on the neckline that I have there. As you can see, is exactly the neckline. You can't go wrong with this method. But that is not the end of it. I'm still going to be manipulating it. If you want to leave it like this, fine, it's beautiful. But I have to go with what my client wants. So I'm just going to be making some amendments at the lower part. So yeah, I'm trying to get the midpoint of that. I measured it and I had 19 inches. And half of 19 inches is 9.5. So I'm going to be marking the midpoint. And then I'll come to both sides of the pattern. I think I'll call it a pattern here. I'll just come to both sides just to ascertain how the length, how long it is, and then I'll come there and then I'll mark 6 inches up. Then I'll go to the other side, I'll mark 6 inches as well, and then I'll connect it to that point that I marked earlier. And then you're going to be having a very beautiful and lovely shape. Even without cutting it yet, you can see how beautiful it looks already. It's quite beautiful. So I'll just place it like so gently and then cut it out. I intentionally left one side of the pattern to be bigger than the other side. Like I always say in my videos, if you have watched most of my Kaftan videos or Bubu videos that I make, I always encourage people to try to experiment. It's not as if the already made patterns were done by people that are so knowledgeable or something. You can carve out something for yourself. If you just explore and be creative, you can create any design of your choice. And before you know it, people start making such designs because those people that did that don't have two heads. Yeah. So I'm going to be ironing this gum stay on it to give it a little bit of weight. So I've done that and I've gone ahead to iron alpha fringe all the way around except for the neckline. I've gone ahead, as you can see, I've ironed it all the way around so that it will be easy for me when sewing. So that is how it's going to be looking. OMG, this is so beautiful. Are you not feeling it? So I went ahead later to trace a little bit of that place, but it was too wide. So I think I did that off camera, so you didn't see that. But you can leave it wide. I just wanted to give my client what she wanted. So I'm going to be placing it like that. Did you see the way I placed it? Please, that is how you place it. Then you run the neck and then you turn it, flip it over you, and then you see that is how it will come out to be. I'll go right ahead and come back to show you how it looks. So having done that, this is how it looks. So later I'm going to be giving it a very good press because I was rushing as at this point. Yes, I was rushing because I was having some distractions on that. So please bear with me. I've gone ahead to turn the neck of the clothes with the bias. I didn't use a facing. If you want, you can use a facing. I was trying to manage the material because the material really exhausted everything. So now I'm just going to take my clothes to show him. Okay, I've sewn the edge of the front, that place where I'll be placing the fringe. You need to fold that, folded half inch inwards. So you need to do that before joining your shoulders. So I'm going to be taking my fabric, both the front and the back piece, to the sewing machine, and I'm going to be joining the shoulders by half inch. Going to be placing it like so, and then I'm going to be running half inch on one side and then half inch on the other side. And then I'll fold my sleeve, my round sleeves, by half inch and then 1 inch. Note, half inch and then 1 inch. That is how I'm going to be folding both sides. And so I've done all that. I've joined my shoulders, okay? So as at this time, I've not really turned my I've not turned my round sleeve. So I'm basically showing you how to go about that. Half inch and then 1 inch, and then I'll run it. And then I'm going to be running the side seams as well. Sorry, I added a pocket to this, but I did it off camera because I think people should be used to how to make pockets by now. Even in my last tutorial, I still showed how to do that. Please kindly check it out. I just don't want this video to be too long. That is why I didn't show where I cut out the pockets and add and joined it and all. So please pardon and bear with me. So I'm going to be taking it to sewing machine, and I'll be right back to show you. So yes, this is how it looks. I've gone ahead to turn everything. I've not ironed it yet. I've not given it a very good press. I was just rushing, as I told you, because time was against me. So I had to rush it out a little, and I've joined the side seams. I used 1 inch to join it. You can see how it's beautiful. So what is left for us now is to join the fringe. And please take note, at that lower part, I did not run the stitch all the way to the front. I left like 1 inch so that I'll be able to run my fringes all through it so that it will come out neat. So when you are sewing your side seams, please don't sew it all the way down. Leave like an half 1 inch on both sides so that you'll be able to fix your fringe easily without stress. So now I'm going to be placing the fringe like so, and then I'm going to be taking it to the sewing machine. I'm going to be running 2 stitches up and down on that same line of the fringe. Please take note, not a single stitch. I'll run like 1 and 2, like up and down on the fringe so that it will lay flat. When you do it like that, you'll see how beautiful and how neat it will come out to be. You sew it like that, and then when you have finished sewing it like that, you turn out your cloth again, and then you run the remaining stitch that is on your side seams, and then you fold the other seams that will be left over from the back piece. You fold half an inch all the way down both sides, and then you fold the lower part as per your allowances. So this is the pocket I made. Like, I had to bring it out. I had to make use of the plain fabric because the material was not enough for me to cut out. So at all I bad pass. So I had to do it like that. After all, the pocket will be inside the pocket, inside the cloth, so it won't be visible, it won't be showing. So that was what I did. So you can see how the stitches came out beautiful and neat. So that is the way you go about sewing your fringe if you want it to come out neat and beautiful. So this is how it came out to be, and it came out very beautiful. Like I said earlier, this camera is not doing justice to this clothes at all, but it's all well, it's all well, it's all well. All in all, it came out beautiful. So please, if you enjoyed watching this tutorial, kindly encourage me by hitting on the subscribe button, liking, and please share. And please leave comments. Please encourage me. I would appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I'll still show you how it looks on my mannequin. Even though I showed you before I started, I will still show you how it looks. Because it's giving me vibes. Yeah. That is me still trying to explain some things. Don't worry. Please just try this out and leave comments in the comment section. What am I even saying? You know, when you talk too much, you say things that are not making sense. So that is how beautiful the cloth looks. Thank you all. God bless us all. Thank you. And see you on my next tutorial. Thank you. Bye.